Okay, Rich, another win in pre-season against Tavistock tonight, 2-0. What are your thoughts after that one?
Well, I thought we weren't quite at the races for a lot of the game. Didn't use the ball anywhere near well enough. First half particularly, we were sloppy, and we made it into a contest really. And I was disappointed with lots of elements of our play. But then the bright spark. I thought the youngsters come on and made sort of the evening worthwhile, and that's sort of the takeaway from it. You break it into the two, like our bit wasn't good enough, like in terms of the senior players, we just passive. So that was frustrating. I always feel like this when we get a couple of weeks in the pre-season. It's there's a lot of players. It's tiring. I think the players find it tiring, and you're looking forward to the real stuff. But so it's more minutes in the legs and all that type of stuff, and it gives us plenty to look at. But yeah, a bit of a damp squid of an affair until the youngsters got involved, and I was absolutely delighted with. I thought Archie Morgan and Puskas in particular, who played the longest. That's maybe why. But they all look neat and tidy, and all acquitted themselves really well. And yeah, really pleased for the football club. It's a good evening.
Obviously, we'll go on to the goals in a minute, Rich, but I think it's fair to say we should probably start with the goalkeeper situation today. Obviously, with James signing a contract, and we know that his loan move's going to be coming in soon. And then obviously Frankie Phillips coming in as well, just a word on that situation.
Well, James, he's going on loan for the season, but we'll still see plenty of him in pre-season. It's important he gets to grips of how we play and how we do things. James had a lot of time away from football, so we want to get him back up to speed, and he'll do really, really well for his loan move. In terms of Frankie, we had a short list of options, and Frankie was right at the very top of that when Josh left. So we're delighted to get him in. He's a big presence. His kicking's superb, and he looks like a proper football, proper goalkeeper at a football league club. So we're really confident he's going to do well for us. Again, we won't get carried away like we're not with any of the players, but there's a proper player in there, and I'm looking forward to working with him and seeing what he's about. He didn't have a shot to save on his debut, but he's got a clean sheet and did all the basics really, really well.
Yeah, I think we said off camera, didn't we? Sort of on, I think probably Friday's performance was largely better than this evening, but couldn't win the game. Yet tonight didn't play as well. Like you say, some bits you weren't quite pleased with, but we ended up winning 2-0, keeping a clean sheet. So quite a bizarre one, really.
Yeah, but we should be winning, Bill. Like, we're playing a team that's the level below, and we're at home. So we should be winning. We deserved to win on Friday, but we didn't. We gave a sloppy goal away, and tonight I just thought we were a bit lethargic, like in and out of possession, and you could see that whilst we tired them down for the last 10 minutes when we made the multiple changes, that little bit of energy changed the sort of game, and that's the bit that we're frustrated with, because if our lads played with that same endeavour and that same energy as some of those boys towards the end, it would have been a different game. But look, I don't think there's many partnerships. Ollie and Brody haven't played together. The goalkeeper's never played. Tom Simmons is, so Alfie and Towns have never played. Zebs and Kane have had, very few minutes. So it was a team made up of, individuals that have been put together. But we just, expected a tiny bit more from him.
Obviously, this match was billed with a good opportunity for those younger players to be coming through, Rich. So, like you said, I think there must have been like sort of 6 or 7. That sort of, I might have actually been 8 that came on tonight. From your perspective as first team manager, having that pathway for younger players to come through, how pleasing was it to give them the chance tonight and also see what they could do?
Yeah, it was great, and I think like I said, there was lots of bits of the evening I was frustrated with when you see a 16-year-old score his first goal for the club, be it a friendly or whatever it is, and he was absolutely buzzing. That's a nice, I'm a father myself, so you're just pleased to see young lads come on and do really, really well. Look, they've got a long way to go to be ready to play week in, week out Southern Prem, but there's some real, bags of ability there and high potential, and it shows that if you put your faith in young players, they can deliver. They've been joined by, Finn, Owen, Ollie, Tiago. There was some real experience with them on the pitch at the end, but like I said, they had energy and they were up for the fight, and they did really, really well. And I was, Archie Morgan and Puskas, I thought were terrific, and the others, like I said, I don't think they give the ball away when they got on it. So yeah, fair play to them.
And an entirely different test on Saturday with Stoke City coming to the Signet. What can we expect from that one?
Well, we're gonna have to be a bit better. Well, not a bit better. We're going to be a lot better. I think we will be. I think that's our 4th game against Step 4 teams now out of the last 5, and I think we need some big tests now. So we've got that in Stoke. We're a complete unknown. But then we've got Chippenham, who are going to be in the top National League South, a National League South side for many a year, and always acquit themselves really well. So that'll be a tough test. And then we go to Wales with either 1 or 2 really difficult fixtures. So, tonight was the last of the experimental lineups. We're into the real stuff of pre-season now, and we've got 3 weeks until the season starts. I think comes Saturday. So we're going to have to up the tempo, up the work rate, and we're going to have to get a bit more from our sort of senior players. And and I think it's a funny time pre-season. There's like I said, there's lots of bodies knocking around and a bit of insecurity in terms of where they fit into the system and all that type of stuff. So we're going to have to address those things between now and Saturday, shorten the squads down a little bit, and start getting some fluidity with the team and the players that we've got. I think take tonight out the equation, you can see that it's a real football team that we're put together this year, and we're really looking forward to testing ourselves against those sides and seeing where we sit, and being ready for August the 9th.